Yo, what's good, guys? Medical Gamer over here with a potentially like really big Pokemon Sun and Moon leak. This could be like the Chinese leak. I don't know. Let's see. I'll read it off, and you guys let me know what you think. I think that a lot of the things could be true, but you guys let me know what you think. So, at the top, the poster, this is on 4chan, they just basically say that the Chinese leak, they said it's pretty much a real leak, and not everything matches up with the info that they have, but some people do that on purpose to try to evade being caught, which actually does kind of make sense. So this person is giving all of the information that they have now. So this is in addition to the Chinese leak that I went over before, and many other people have gone over before. So the island names Mele Mele, Akala, Pani, and Ula Ula are correct. Island order is Mele Mele northwest, Akala northeast, Pony southeast, and Ula Ula is west. So this post is basically a confirmation and also adds on more things. So that's why I think it might be a little bit more believable than some of the other really obviously fake threads out there. So there are 90 new Pokemon and 20 Alola forms. All of them are Gen 1 only, which makes sense. They revealed about 8, I think, Alola forms, so makes sense. They're only like halfway through. The only way to get normal Gen 1 Pokemon is through Red, Blue, Yellow, Virtual Console, or Gen 6 games transfer to Pokemon Bank. There is no pre-Gen 6 typing or whatever for Virtual Console. They are converted to normal current Gen Pokemon when arriving in Sun and Moon. Their location is traveled through time from Kanto region. Their IVs are calculated based on their DVs times 2 plus 1. So Pikachu with 15 speed DV will have 31 speed IV. So this is interesting. It would make sense that they would require you to use like Pokemon Bank or stuff like that because that's how Nintendo makes their money, you know. Water Growlithe and Arcanine are correct. That's the only thing that I'm not sure about because we have seen the Arcanine in the trailers that's normal, but maybe they just did that for the trailers to throw us off. That I don't know. And then they say the Fighting Abra line is correct. However, Alola and Alakazam cannot Mega Evolve. So that would make sense that they don't add a new Mega Evolution because it doesn't seem like they're adding any Mega Evolutions to this game. Poison Fighting Nidoking and Nidoqueen are correct. Bug Psychic Butterfree is correct. Fire Fairy Ninetales is actually correct because normal Ninetales has been changed to Fire Fairy. So that's interesting because they made the Alolan Ninetales Ice and Fairy. So it kind of would make sense if they added the Fairy type to the regular Ninetales and make it Fire Fairy. They have done that with other Pokemon, like adding the Fairy type to a normal type Pokemon or things like that. Snowman and Football Monkey are both correct. Dolphin is correct and is a pure water type. The Snowman is Ice and Ghost type and evolves once. The Monkey is Ground and Fighting type. Salandit has split gender forms upon evolution. Both are fire and poison, and they're like Meowstic in that they learn different moves. Male is female, and male is physical and female is special. Sorry, so that kind of makes sense. That's like Meowstic, and I think Pyroar. They're not exactly different forms. They look different, but we've seen split gender forms before. Cat Pokemon that changes typing and patterns based on breeding is correct. It's normal slash any type. Besides normal slash normal, of course. Yeah, because you can't have dual type of the same type as of right now. But that's interesting. It changes typing based on breeding. That's a unique thing, a pretty new thing. The day is longer in sun and the night is longer in moon. Approximate times are in sun, dawn is from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m., day is 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., dusk is 9 p.m. to 10 p.m., and night is 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. In moon, dawn is 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., dawn is 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., day is 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., dusk is 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., and night is 6 p.m. to 8 a.m. So that's really interesting. That could actually make sense because if you think about it, it's almost like summer and winter, you know, in real life. In summer, at least like I'm not sure how it is all over the world, but like in summer in the United States, the days would be a lot longer, and in winter in the United States, the days are a lot shorter. So maybe they're trying to do something like that with sun and moon. I don't know. And some more things. Ho-Oh can be caught in Sun and Lugia can be caught in Moon on an uninhabited island that changes appearance depending on the time of day, as well as changing the Pokemon encounters there. In Sun, you will have to wait until dawn, which is 5 a.m. to 6 a.m., for Ho-Oh to appear, while in Moon you have to wait till dusk, which is 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Again, that could actually make sense. Ho-Oh is this bright Pokemon, and like you see the rainbow and all that stuff. So Sun and Lugia, even though Lugia is not like a dark type or anything, but you think of it more in like the dark sense, like an XD Gale of Darkness, almost like that. So starters and Rockruff have one final evolution with two forms each. One is a day form and the other is a night form. You can't switch between them. If they evolve in the day, they will evolve during their day into their day form, and vice versa for their night forms. That makes more sense than just having like some of the leak things said you have like 4 split evolutions and things like that. This is more realistic, having a night form and a day form. Because I feel like night and day is pretty important in these games because it's sun and moon. So some Pokemon. Rockruff's night form is indeed a werewolf. It's rock and dark. His day form is rock and normal. And the final evolutions of the starters that were leaked are the night forms. So they're grass flying, fire dark, and water fairy. The day forms are grass flying, fire, and water. So it's interesting that in the night form for Poplio is water and fairy. So you have a fairy in the night form. But it could make sense because it's like a siren, and I guess sirens, like they're bad in like Greek mythology and stuff because they lure the sailors to their deaths. So you never know. You never know. Some Pokemon transform into phases using Z moves. However, they do this just before using it, not after. They stay in that form until the end of the battle or until they're knocked out. This requires maximum hearts in the Pokemon Play feature. Greninja, Solgaleo, and Lunala have these phases. Greninja is called Hero Phase, Solgaleo is Radiant Sun, and Lunala is Full Moon. Now this is also interesting because like we have been exposed to the Radiant Sun and the Full Moon form. We just don't know how they get activated. So this says that the phases happen just before they use the Z move. So maybe it gives like a special boost like before you use the Z move or changes your stats a little. And probably the Greninja going into Hero Phase, it turns into like what we know as Ash Greninja. That would be interesting. It's almost like the Rainbow Greninja leak that that could be true too, but we have to wait till August 21st to know about that one. In addition, Greninja, Solgaleo, and Lunala have unique Z moves. Greninja is called Whirlpool Shuriken and must require learning Water Shuriken. Solgaleo is Sun Flare and is Electric type. Lunala is Moonshine and is Fairy type. Unlike other Z moves, using these requires only learning Sunseal Strike and Moongeist Beam rather than an Electric/Fairy move. Okay, so this is actually what makes the previous paragraph more believable because on Game Freak or on the Pokemon website, it does say that Solgaleo and Lunala turn into the Radiant Sun and the Full Moon phase when they use their signature move. So this would make sense because it's saying that they have a special Z move, Sun Flare and Moonshine, that is only for them. So that means it's not a generic Z move, it is their signature move. So this actually does make some sense. There are no Mega Evolutions. Mega Evolution is only accessible post-game after completing Zygarde's story. You get the Keystone from Zinnia. That makes sense. We haven't seen any Mega Evolutions yet, so it's likely that there are no Mega Evolutions in this game. 15 Trial Captains and 16 Totem Pokemon, from which you will win all the Z Crystals in the game apart from Dark and Poison. These two are given to you by Plumera and Guzma. We have seen that before in a previous leak, and this is just confirming that. Melee has 3 captains, Akala has 4, Pawnee has 5, and Ula has 3. In addition, the Psychic Z Crystal is won from Solgaleo/Lunala after defeating them. They are the final totem, and that appears after you save Tapu Guardians from Team Skull and complete the final trial. The Guardians all gather on Ula Island. They form a cool totem pole in order to summon Solgaleo/Lunala, and you can catch the Guardians in the post-game. So that's interesting, and I actually like this idea because I did wonder why the Solgaleo and the Lunala shared a Psychic type. I would have thought that they would have been 2 completely different types, but maybe they're sharing the Psychic type so that this psychic type Z crystal is the one that is got like that's found from them. That could make sense. In the post game, the Kahunas all gather on Mele Mele Island, and you could battle them like a pseudo Elite Four. There is no building your own league. So this is saying that there is no building your own league in the post game, which I mean I really don't know what to think about that. I don't know whether or not you're going to build your own league. It hasn't been done in any of the other Pokemon games, but it could be done in this, so that really goes either way. In fact, this is what Guzma is trying to do in the main game. He believes in only power and thinks the island trials are lamer than the Pokemon leagues of other regions. He is salty because he got rejected from being a trial captain for disrespecting the Alola way and culture. So he targets the Tapu Guardians, who are the root of Alola's lore and the island trials, in an effort to dismantle Alola's culture. Well, part of this, at least, if not all of it, makes sense. The fact that it says that he thinks like the trials are lame, and he's salty because he got rejected, because in one of the Sun and Moon trailers it does the one where he goes like, "Yo, it's your boy Guzma." That's hilarious, but he does say that the professor does mention how he got rejected, and so yeah, it's a pretty good reason to be salty. So the first and final battles of the game are against Hao. Even though he picks a weaker starter, by the end of the game he has assembled quite the team. In the post-game he becomes the champion to the Kahuna's Elite Four and you can rematch him. Okay, that's pretty normal, nothing out of the ordinary. The SS Anne is in the game. You can use it to travel from Pawnee Island to the artificial island, which is called EYOOOO Island. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, sorry if I didn't. On the boat, you meet Green/Blue and Lance, who are on their way to the champion meeting at a big swanky mansion on the island. That would be cool if you could do that. Like, you know, bringing back the like nostalgia of Gen 1, because it seems like they're trying to bring back Gen 1 Pokemon into this game with the Alola forms and everything like that. Once there, you can battle all the previous champions. It's known as the champions' official meeting place where they talk and battle each other. You can get access to it after completing the game and becoming the Island Challenge champion. That's really cool if you get to do that. That would be awesome. On the same island is the new Battle Maison Proxy. There is no Battle Frontier. There is a post-game plot involving Zygarde, Lily, Kukui, AZ, and Zinnia. There is also another hilarious Looker quest-like side story with Looker, Guzma, and Team Skull. Oh my god, Looker. Looker, I'm actually playing Pokemon Platinum right now. Looker is quite the character. Quite the character. But it does make sense that they have a post-game plot involving Zygarde. Almost everybody has said that, and involves Lily because they say like Lily has a secret or a mystery. So a lot of people have been saying that. Stop worrying about the difficulty. What you have seen in the trailers is not all there is. The game starts out easy, and there's a steady difficulty curve. The game is also deceptively longer than you would think for such a seemingly small region. Now this, I have no idea if it's true, but I really hope it is, because I don't like the Pokemon games being too easy, and I like games that are long. So if this is true, then that's awesome. And then he basically says that everything else leaked is BS, like it's bad, yeah. And hopefully we can wait till the game release and we get back to our normal schedule. And I don't know if this person posted on the bottom or it's a different poster. It says there's a post-game Delta episode featuring Shaman in Skyform. I'm pretty sure that that's just someone else. I don't think that has anything to do with the leak that I just read. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section about this leak. I think that this could potentially be like the next big leak, past like the Chinese leak and stuff like that. But yeah, you guys let me know. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up down below. Subscribe to see more or hear more Pokemon Sun and Moon news. And I'm going to get out of here. Peace.